missing out on these major experiences that, I've been looking forward to for the past few years, and all my friends and I have been super excited for, and it kind of made everything worth it.
So I guess I feel kind of like we're missing out because it's a tradition. We're having a graduation or a prom.
Initially, I was sad about missing the last 2 months because for me, I had a lot of things I was looking forward to, not just school related, but outside of school. And all of that was kind of just taken away and canceled. But I've learned to know that this is kind of the best thing for us. And I think all of this has kind of brought me even closer to some friends since we have the time, a lot of time, to text and talk to each other.
Thinking ahead 5 or 10 years, I'm going to definitely remember all the school dances and, the spirit weeks my friends and I participated in. And lastly, senior year, it's giant, and we worked so hard and struggled through the past 3 years, and junior year especially, and now we kind of are done, and it's this big goodbye.
In 5 or 10 years down the road, I think I'm definitely going to remember, obviously, my friends that I've made, and also, honestly, the staff. I think during this time, we've really recognized how important they were. And honestly, I wish I was back in class because those teachers that I didn't like, and now I'm missing them yelling at me. So I'm honestly gonna miss the staff and the environment that I was put in, because I think that they really made it very happy and positive, like everyone else said.
I realized that I want to continue being a part of leadership and doing things for others. And I think, honestly, for me, student council has the biggest impact than a lot of my classes. But because that's where I really grew and realized that I wanted to do this kind of thing for the rest of my life.
The impact of coronavirus was not easy on my senior class.
I think for the class of 2020, COVID sort of took away our big high school moments.
A lot of things in the past 2 months have been canceled, such as senior events or prom. It affected everything.
I've spent 12 years looking for this moment. I remember being in elementary and being one day I will walk across the stage, and now I'm doing my graduation speech in a room.
An unprecedented move tonight from the New Mexico Public Education Department announcing every public K-12 school in the state will be shut down for the next 3 weeks as an effort to stop the spread of the coronavirus.
Over the last hour, and they talked about all the things they were putting in place to keep schools open. Within about 5 minutes before we went on the air, they came out and they said all public schools in the entire state will be closed starting Monday.
Public schools all over our state will remain closed for the rest of the school year. Schools have been closed since last Monday. They were set to reopen on April 6th, but today...
We thought we had a lot more time, and we just had so much planned that now we're all going our separate ways. We won't be able to experience those things.
Class of 2020. In 2016, you entered Rio Rancho High School as young teenagers. Through your years at Rio Rancho High School, you've learned, you've made mistakes, you've laughed, cried, maybe even feuded. You've celebrated, and you've overcome obstacles. Through your experience, you've grown. Class of 2020, you are exiting Rio Rancho High School as young adults. I want you to take a moment to think about your obstacles and hardship you may have overcome during your years at Rio Rancho High School. Think about the steps you took to overcome and the village that surrounded you. Through your family, peers, and staff members, you had built relationships and established a support system for yourselves. As you move forward in life, remember how you reached out. Remember that there are people in your lives who are willing to encourage and support you. Remember that there are people who will help, who will love you. All you need to do is reach out. Now I want you to think about the good times, the celebrations you celebrated no matter how small or how big. Think about that triumphant feeling, the drive that allowed you to feel accomplished, the motivation and effort that have proven over and over again that you can overcome and prosper. Remember those moments and strive to do things that make you feel like you've achieved. Because when you do that, you will contribute to the good of the world. On May 9th, the senior grades were due. The counselors, Ms. Wanchek and myself, met via Google Meets. The first thing we did after saying good morning was let out a big sigh. I knew at that moment all of your faces were flashing through our minds. We wondered how you are all holding up. We shed some tears because as educators, graduation is the event we look forward to every year, especially after serving a class for 4 years. We talked about the unfairness of the pandemic and the unfairness of how we wouldn't be celebrating with a traditional graduation. Class of 2020, you were born into this world around the time of 9/11, a historical attack on our country. And now you are exiting high school in the midst of COVID-19 pandemic. We held these realities in our hearts as we wrapped up our meeting. On behalf of the Class of 2020 team, Ms. Ortiz-Cedillo, Ms. Affentranger, Ms. Garduño, Ms. Wanchek, and Ms. Burns, we hold you in our hearts. Your faces are forever etched into our memory. Now more than ever, we ask you to continue to be resilient. We believe in your future and we honor the endless possibilities for you. We ask that you remain focused on the future and strive to make it better, just like how you made Rio Rancho High School a better place. You did not bow to the norm of what each class presented year after year. Rather, you presented a challenge for yourselves, for your teachers, counselors, administrators, and the staff at Rio Rancho High School. We ask that you help where and when you can to make this world a better place. We ask that you keep dancing, praying, loving, giving, playing, and laughing. We ask that you keep your faith strong and keep the love for one another stringent. We ask that you love yourselves and all the beauty that you are. We celebrate you today because you have an opportunity to do great things. We celebrate you today because we know you will navigate life fearlessly. We believe in you to lead and guide us in this world. Congratulations on this heartfelt and joyous achievement. Celebrate loudly and with pride. We may be physically distant from others for a brief time, but that does not take away the deep gratitude, love, and excitement that we share with others in this beautiful and fascinating world. We are so proud of you. Be well and be safe, Class of 2020.
Hi, Class of 2020. For those of you who don't remember me, my name is Claire Bader and we went to high school together. I wish I could see all of your very clean faces in person, but this will have to do for now. While we have been apart, I have had a lot of time to think about our childhood. Burning our legs on the slide, which was somehow always hotter than the surface of the sun, trading silly bands on the playground, convincing our CCR teacher to do the mannequin challenge, telling your mom you absolutely needed checkered bands, accusing your siblings of stealing your fidget spinner, and most of all, trying too hard to grow up as quickly as you could. What none of us can anticipate is our last year of childhood being cut short. We, more than any class before us, will know the phrase, "You don't know what you've got until it's gone." The Class of 2020 will go down in history as the incomplete class, the class that went without, the class that lost. Even though we lost our prom, graduation, and spring sports, we will forever hold the record for the most epic senior ditch day. We, more than those who came before us, understand that life doesn't always work out the way we want it to. But this has worked in our favor. We have witnessed the reality of growing up in the harshest possible ways. More than any class before, I believe that we are ready for the ups and downs of the rest of our lives. We all drive too fast anyway. Why would this speed bump slow us down? I wish I could give you some amazing piece of wisdom that would make waiting 12 years for this speech worth it, but I don't think that's how life is working out these days. The only advice I can give is to thank your parents, hug your siblings, and don't forget to tell the people you love that you love them, because you never know when it could be your last chance. These are the people who will be in your corner when your high school friends pull a Gabriella and go their own way. Please be kind to yourself and others. And as my mentor and friend always told us at the end of a long week or the beginning of a goodbye, I love you all, but not in a creepy way.
Hey there, all you cool cats and kittens. I'd like to thank you for making the long journey from your bed to your couch to watch this today. Now, I know this last month has been difficult. For many of us, life has been stripped to its core as we do little more than the bare essentials: eat, sleep, and watch Netflix. When we walked into senior year thinking it was the final stretch, little did we know that we would face an almost World War III, Australia catching on fire, and that our last real day of school would be Friday the 13th? I still remember it like it was yesterday. It was a dark and stormy morning. All of the students were tense and worried because the governor just announced the 3 weeks cancellation the night before. In first period, Ms. Walker was screaming as usual, only this time it wasn't about physics. Ooh. Next, in second period, Mr. Smith was giddy and delighted that we were so fortunate to be experiencing the longest spring break in Rio Rancho High School's history. Then we had a nice casual discussion with Mr. Keeney in calculus, only to be thrown out into the torrential hail which was surely a sign that the world was ending. While my friends and I hunkered down in Mrs. Keeney's room sending our prayers to the good guy upstairs, I made a casual joke about graduation being over Skype. And with a heavy heart, I concluded my day in Miss Bader's English class, feeling robbed of my senior year. Little did I know, that was my last chance to say goodbye to my favorite teachers and to my best friends. The point is, living through a major historical event really sucks. But if there's one thing I learned in all of my science classes, it's that diamonds only form under pressure. We are the unluckiest class, but because of this, we will be unified for the rest of our lives as the class of 2020. There is no doubt that more adversity will come our way, but after this year, we can take it on. We are strong. We are resilient. We will never, ever forget our senior year, and we will keep going no matter what comes our way, because we are the Quarantines.
Hello, class of 2020. I am your valedictorian of Rio Rancho High School, Kang Fan. Being our school's valedictorian is a big privilege since I can speak to you during these troubling times. It saddens me greatly that our time at school with our friends and teachers was cut off due to the ongoing pandemic. But we still have our memories to go off of. Ever since we started high school back in freshman year, all the way back from the moving up ceremony on our first day of high school to our last days of school away from our friends. It has been an incredible experience from start to finish. Most people say that high school is one of the best times of your life, and I agree. But I say that we should keep on going to strive towards our goals, no matter how difficult they may be. Some of you may go to college or take a gap year, but no matter what, keep striving to improve yourself, no matter what happens. Even if you think nothing is going well and you feel that you're at your wit's end, keep on persevering so you can look back on your hard work and be happy with it. Right now, during these pressing times, as we have to be away from our friends and family, many have suffered greatly from this separation, but it is important to keep in mind that many great things have come from our community, coming closer together to help each other. Having this sense of community is important for all of us to go further in our lives, both our community at Rio Rancho High and the communities we will be part of later on. It all helps inspire and shape you for who you are. So I'd like to thank the people in my communities that I've met, my friends, my family, the staff at Rio Rancho High School, and the church community I have grown up in and been part of. These people have helped shape me for who I am, and I'm grateful for that. And now for a few words of Vietnamese for my family and friends. Con cảm ơn bố mẹ và cảm ơn hết bạn trong thiếu nhi thân thể. Con cảm ơn bố mẹ cho nuôi con và ủng hộ con lúc con lớn lên. Và cảm ơn hết bạn trong thiếu nhi thân thể tại vì bạn giúp con theo Chúa và càng xong nói chuyện trong tiếng Việt và nói chuyện trong tiếng Mỹ nữa. So, congratulations and best wishes to the class of 2020.
Hello, class of 2020. As your principal at Rio Rancho High School, let me first applaud you for all of your amazing accomplishments. I consider each of you a champion and a graduate ready to change the communities we live in. This world has changed in ways we could never have imagined a few months ago, and you are understandably frustrated due to canceled proms, celebrations, and annual traditions. I understand how our sudden switch to online learning to end your senior year has created a reality that has been difficult to adjust to. And some of you are suffering immensely from the loss of loved ones and the uncertainty of the future. But in the midst of it all, you stayed the course and completed the requirements to graduate. You have shown your resilience, your grit, and your determination. These are all practical skills and qualities that will take you far as you leave Rio Rancho High School. Some words of advice that will serve you well during this pandemic and the years ahead. Remain optimistic. Remember, we all talk to ourselves more than we talk to anyone else. So ensure that your inner voice is an encouraging one and not a negative one that brings you down and forms self-doubt. Feed your mind and spirit with positive thoughts that uplift you. Remember to create a circle of influence of people who have positive energy. Help those people in your circle, motivate them, and in turn you will feel uplifted and motivated. One of my favorite sayings is, if your inner circle of friends don't inspire you, they are not a circle, they are a cage. Congratulations and good luck to you, the class of 2020. I am optimistic about the future and excited to witness how you will shape and create a new reality for all of us.